What's good, everybody? It's your boy JB9 Deuce, representing JB Speak Easy, the black platform where black men speak freely. Once again, I am your host, JB9 Deuce. Once again, everybody, thank you once again for joining me for another episode of JB Speak Easy. Today, we'll be covering the T.I. King situation. Now, I have a unique take on this that I think people will like to hear. And for one, I would like to always put out this idea that I'm all about black families. Like this, I said, this show is about black men coming together and black men having a voice, and surely the fathers should be able to speak. But before we get to that, I'd like to address the title, which is called Family Feud, the T.I. King situation. But Family Feud is more than just what T.I. and King are going through. It's more than just a TV show. I believe it's more of something that affects us as a black community as a whole. Black people, especially with the issues of fathers in our community, in relationships with sons in the community, whether the actual relationship is very apparent, no pun intended, or where it's not apparent. And I have a unique take on the father-son situation with King and his father, but I will play a clip. I'll play two clips. One, I'm gonna play a clip where it's where I rather see a father and son where they're getting along, and then one clip that has to go to the ever so controversial fight that they had. So right now we're gonna play the T.I. King interview where they're discussing the GOATs of all time. I'm not going to play the whole interview. I'm just going to let them play a little clip of this so I can see. I'm trying to give a display of two different things today. One, the good side of what a father-son relationship is supposed to seem like or look like. And two, the bad side, in which we're going to, talk about, or which I guess saving the best for last, as some people say. All right, here we go. This T.I. King to discussing the GOATs of all time. I'm going to play a few seconds of this. Let's do it.
GOAT Waffle House order.
Ah.
Okay, I see. What up, y'all? It's your boy King, aka New King of the South,
AKA Junior. This is Tip, King of the South Senior, and this is GOAT Talk with Complex. Let's see what we got here, man. GOAT.
Listen,
athlete,
Drew Brees.
Who?
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Man, I reject your deposit. Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah. I like Mike Tyson, though.
I do, too, but Mike Tyson did too.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That's a good one right there. Go ahead, tell you for sure. And Lil King's response too. But anyway, that's just I'm getting to a little bit of the sports talk. My bad. I ain't just what they're saying about. Go ahead.
You Muhammad Ali the GOAT.
Okay.
Yes.
GOAT rapper turn actor. Bet you expect me to say me now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Man, Tupac.
Tupac was an actor.
I'm sorry. Man, get out.
So I didn't know
Get
Tupac
out.
was an actor.
Right.
Get out.
I thought that was a looking like Tupac.
What are you talking about? You never seen Juice?
Yeah, I did. I thought that was a looking like Tupac.
What about when they say Tupac Shakur on the screen?
I ain't see that.
Come on, bro. What are you talking about?
I don't watch the credits.
How could you embarrass me like this?
I didn't. That's your generation.
You ain't never seen Poetic Justice?
I didn't see that.
Huh?
I didn't see Poetic Justice. I seen Juice though. My favorite rapper, actor, would be Ice Cube.
I rock with Cube.
Okay.
You gotta be Ice Cube.
Cube the OG. Yeah. Oh, Will Smith. Can't forget Will.
He a rapper?
Oh.
Bro, Will Smith, bro. I don't know no Will Smith song.
Hey, man.
That's like asking me what's a Nick Cannon song.
He said that like asking me. Oh my gosh. No, I'm playing this so you guys can see you see the joyful times they're having as father and son. I like this because we're gonna get to the much darker time. I like to always talk about the days of sunshine before the days of rain. So this is a day of sunshine for them, right? And I actually like his response. Actually, that's actually quite funny that he said that. You remember, like this, it also speaks to this generation. Not only do they have a little lack of respect, they have a lack of perspective. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna search for the video where they're about to actually have their brawl online. I just want to show what father son was like. Excuse me, guys, real quick. Okay, guys. Now play the King altercation. You guys, bear with me for a second. I'm gonna play the King situation. Let me just take myself off the screen real quick while I do that. But I do want to cover this, the T.I. King Harris fight. I just want to show them getting along as father and son. Now we're about to have T.I. King, or King, excuse me, T.I.'s son going to go at it with each other. You feel me? I'm about to. Well, I don't want to see them go at it, but you get what I'm saying. About to play the video. I'm trying to find one where it's not as much commentary. I think this is it right here. Could this be it? Could this be it right here?
All right, y'all. So I'm sure y'all probably have already seen the situation that happened with
commentary
or lack thereof.
Y'all want to go to the bando? With me that broke up with roach in your ear. Y'all want to go to the bando in my neighborhood? Do y'all want to go to the bando? Do y'all want to go to the bando? To make him look better, he say shit he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, I used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the fight.
You cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath.
Every day.
I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there. But they don't understand that.
No, I'm going to tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Y'all ready? Because he can suck and pacify over there till he was 12 years old. He was sucking and pacifying till he was 12 years old. He didn't do that in the house.
They trying to say I was over there trying to suck a pastor, but they ain't going to tell you everything. They trying to hide it. Sugarcoat it. He capping. He capping. Hey. He know I stand on business. He know that. Can't no nigga code it. He capping. He capping. Hey. He know I stand on business. He know that. Can't no nigga ever pull my car ever in life. I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood, I stand on business. I don't feel like you stand on business. Yeah. I've been stood on business.
All right. Let me stop right there because this isn't my initial take that I'm gonna take. I'm surprised on my personal take because maybe I put a little bit of my own life into this a little bit. But I do want to comment on what T.I., the Son King, just said. He said that he stand on business. He does that. He does that. I'm like, little bruh, you grew up kind of in the suburb. You know what I'm saying? We kind of seen you on TV. See, this right here speaks to the whole sentiment of keeping your personal life personal and not putting everything public. That goes for celebrities and for us with this new social network world where we could try to make ourselves look like celebrities because so many people try to do it. This is why you're supposed to keep some things personal because people always, whether for right or for wrong, get to actually low-key throw it back up in your face. But anyway, I'm going to let this play a little bit to the altercation, then I'm going to give my take, my whole take. All right, here we go.
I've been stood on business. You want to hide it for the world? I'm going to put it out there for them to see. Nigga, I want to put up nowhere. You ain't had me put up nowhere, nigga. Like, you ain't had me behind the mansion. I was outside doing what I wanted to do. Like, what?
Okay, let's concentrate on that real quick. There will never be a moment in my life, even as me as being a 31-year-old grown man, that would ever tell my dad, you ain't, what did he say? He said something about nigga. See, I couldn't dream. Listen, if I dreamed that I called my dad a nigga, I better have woke up and apologized to him immediately. Because here's the thing. Because in my household, you didn't curse, even if you felt justified. And me and my father had our little fight. Well, I'm going to get to us in a second. Let them finish up real quick. But that kind of got me like, you would call your dad a nigga? If my dad would have dreamed that, he would have made, like I said, he would have made me wake up and apologize that he had the dream. You know anyway, listen to this good.
You was behind that till you cried.
No, niggas ain't got too much to drink. Niggas done drunk too much. Niggas drunk too much.
There you go again.
Niggas get mad because we say the South ain't the suburbs. Then he want to talk about some other shit. Like this be a city nigga. This be a city nigga. No, I'm being real, nigga. You lying. You lying. You up here flagging. You're capping, nigga. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. I know. I know you. You capping. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you though. I know you though. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you let somebody play with me like that? Why you let him play with me like that? Why you let him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself and your family, nigga. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself.
Man, what is you talking about? Get off me, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Man, get off me, nigga.
Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't shit you can do with me.
All right, guys. All right, guys. All right. That's enough. All right, let's get into the show. Whoever is in here, please come back in. You know, so I would like to give my little take on this real quick. Now that I'm seeing this video too, because I've seen clips here and there, seeing this in totality, let me say this. I want to start with the way King is addressing his father. Okay. First of all, like you guys heard me give my commentary a few minutes ago, there's no way on God's green earth that I would have ever been able to call my father a nigga. See, me and my father, we had a lot of problems growing up, and I'm gonna get into that in a minute because it could those situations. I feel like he and I could have both went about it a little bit differently. But I will say this. King, the way King is acting right now, he's trying to sound to me a little bit harder than what he actually is because, you know, your father kind of had money, you know what I'm saying? Him being a rapper, your mom still was getting royalties from her days in Escape. So this is kind of, I don't want to say his story may be far-fetched, but I'll say this, even if he did spend some time in the hood, because I ain't trying to question this against I wasn't there, but let's just say he did spend some time in the hood. It would have been like a lot of dudes that I know in the hood that some of their dads was active in the hood back in their day, and some of them kind of either walk on, which isn't necessarily respected, but then a lot of people get let, depending on how active your dad was, let you slide in your daddy's name because the other niggas don't want to have to put up with your dad or have to see your dad for disrespecting his son. So if you did stand in the hood, brother, you have to understand, King, if you see this, part of this has to be the fact that your dad was who he was. He was the king of the South. He was the first one saying before Gucci and him. He was the first one saying trap. His album was trap music. This is in 2001, 2002. You feel what I'm saying? Besides that, though, I like to get into this commentary that I had prepared. Okay, now he says, I stand on business. Let's do this now. He says, I stand on business is what young King said to all of us here. Here's the issue that I have with what he's saying. Well, I already told you the issue I have with what he's saying. It's like, you know, brother, I don't think we all remember T.I. and Tiny's Family Hustle show that came on MTV. We kind of seen you grow up. Now, one thing, to be fair, guys, to be fair to Mr. King, is something that I've went through personally in the hood. See, we have, and I think the problem is not so much of what King's claiming, but what problem that I've seen, I also saw with Angela Simmons. I also saw with recently somebody else put this crap. I forgot the last person who put it, but there's these celebrities who always have these children who believe that they grew up hood just because their parents was hood. Now, one thing I will say is this. As a black community, I don't think the problem is so much that King grew up with his father and his parents in his life. Well, I think the problem is his culture. Because somebody that grew up with money should not be acting as he grew up in the trenches as people without money. But I think people in the trenches, we define what the hood is so much. I mean, define black culture so much that even those that didn't grow up that way claim to be that way, right? It's a culture thing. So this is where it speaks to us as the hood. We got to embrace more better culture. Like we have to start doing like what Bill Cosby's idea. Let's start putting on more positive black representation so there won't just be this one defined image of what blackness is. Because what will happen is people that don't even come from that image will try to put on that image. And then people from that image will say, oh, you're not really like that. But we define this as black culture, and everybody wants to keep it real with their own ethnicity and their own race. You feel what I'm saying? So, and thank you for whoever's in the live right now. Appreciate you. If you want to come on, I'll put the link in my Facebook so you can come up if you want. But anyway, I would like to get back into something else that speaks greater, because I'll never use my own situation with my father. See, I was also accused of what King was accused of in certain, not accused because people never directly said it to my face because they knew it was going to be met with opposition. In my household, I grew up with two parents. However, I still grew up in the hood though. I grew up around the same banging, the same drug dealing, the same all that, right? And no matter what my parents did or didn't do, I was going to be access to that. But let's concentrate on what my parents did do and what they didn't do. What they did do was they stayed together, showed me and my brother, okay, this is how a family's supposed to look and things like that. You know, my father worked hard and my mother worked hard to make sure we had a roof over our head. However, some of their behaviors as far as us as their children, outside the provision and protection part, led me to a life where I found myself in the hood because no matter what my parents did, I still grew up around Bloods and Crips. It's funny because in my hood, I come from Pasadena, which is PDL. This is all Bloods, PDL. You feel what I'm saying? On Bloods. You feel me? But yet, when I was coming up, guess who lived on my street that the Bloods didn't encounter very often? The Crips. I live right up the street, and there was what's called Raymond Avenue. For those that ain't from Pasadena, who got Raymond Avenue Crips. And these was older dudes because there's no Raymond Avenues that have kids my age, but the PDLs had kids my age, but not the Raymonds. But anyway, that plays a big part in the idea of I grew up around Raymonds. I got banged on. I got guns pulled out on me when at the age of 14, 15. You see what I'm saying? I'm the one that had to get chased by grown men with knives. These are grown-ass men. I'm 15 getting, chased up the street by niggas that's 30 and 40. You feel me? I'm not ashamed to say that because, like, my nigga, like, these niggas is older than me. They surround you and your partner. Shout out to my homeboy LV. They used to surround us and try to pull guns out on us and try to trip on us. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't a gangbanger. You would think they would have this energy for someone that would bang like them, but I was somewhat of an easy target because I had no real protection. Now, when I say easy target, that means I was easy to access to, but I was never no punk though, because what I did was eventually I put my life on the line and just stood up to these dudes. You feel me? I'm like, oh, my mommy ain't gonna do this to me. You feel me? I'm a man because before anything else, we men, and that's what my whole point is. We all men before the end of the day, and in the hood. If you grow up around a certain area, no matter if you grew up with two parents or not, if you're in the middle of this area where certain things are going on, you're going to be either victim to it, fall into it out of survival, or you're just like that. You see what I'm saying? And my thing is, me having two parents should have never, because some people try to say, well, Josh, you grew up with two parents. How come you did this and this? I said, look, man, look, my nigga, I grew up around here just like y'all grew up around here. I had to deal with the same problems that y'all had to deal with. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, my parents being married did not spare me any BS that a lot of other people have to go through while being in the hood. You see what I'm saying? And so I say all that to say this. Also, but people on the outside looking in will say, Josh, you had the perfect life because your parents are married. But it's one thing my parents taught me that I try to tell them. My mom always said, everything that glitter ain't gold. And if everything that glitter ain't gold, then you can never truly make a true assessment of what somebody's true life is behind closed doors unless you get to know that person. Do you feel what I'm saying? So what is my point? My point is, when it comes to this idea of who's with the function and who ain't with the function, we got to look at the character of the person rather than just where their circumstances, where they come from. Now, true king could be capping, but we really don't know that all the way, because you want to know something? Even though my family life, my parents are married, like I said, let me get into a little bit of my story. I know I probably got uncles and aunties in here, so I'm not going to get off of my dad's side, so I'm not going to get into too much detail, because after a while, me and my dad squashed a lot of our beef. But when we was younger, I had beef with my father. And the problem when young men have beef with their fathers, regardless if your father was a gamer, because my dad wasn't a gamer, but he was still a tough dude back in his day. That's LS. You feel me? They used to call him LS in Mississippi. That's big LS right there. The problem is, see, when me and my father, when we was growing up, we had a lot of, let's say, I don't want to demean him or put his business out there, but we had a lot of friction. And a lot of the friction was because I felt like he did not know or understand me as his son. I also felt like he did not care about the environment I was growing up in that was kind of causing me to, in his mind, thought I was being rebellious. But I wasn't being necessarily rebellious. I was responding to the stressful stimuli of the environment I was in. And I could have been avoided a lot of trouble had you been active in the area of, you were active as far as paying bills and stuff like that. You were active in that area of saying, did you do your homework or something like that? But you weren't active in the area of showing me and preparing me how to deal with different type of males that are outside of the type of men that we were in this house. And my dad had an aggression problem and an anger problem. And that's one thing about me and him. We both have that. And without his proper guidance on how to deal with anger rather than just punching your way through something, you should be able to articulate your way through something. You know what I mean? It's not to make any disparaging remarks towards my father. I know my uncles and aunties might be in here, but much than this is where I agree with King, T.I.'s son. Now, see, our fathers could put on whatever image they want to put on for the family and the world, but you and I know what's going on. Like that Tupac song that said, that he said to P. Diddy, he said, you can tell the people you roll with whatever you want, but you and I know what's going on. You feel me? What I'm saying is we got to stop acting like just because you see something, that's what it is, because everything that glitter ain't gold. And my mom and dad had a saying that says, many see, but few know. And it's funny that they would say that and then be the perfect example unto me of what that is. So me and my father, I'm not saying he's a completely bad guy or whatever, but the idea is he didn't take the time to understand me as his son to the point to understand what I was going through. And what that forces a young man to do subconsciously is to go to the very area that my dad thought he was protecting me from. But you weren't protecting me from if we're always getting into fights and the man is supposed to be showing me manhood. We're always in conflict. I said, well, I might as well go out to the streets since I'm already facing grown men trying to kill me anyway. So what did I do? I found protection in the idea of homies that was just like me. Started kicking with my boys. Shout out to Ragtime from PDL. Shout out to my homie Brazy K from PDL. All these dudes I navigated towards because of my home life of a father who I felt did not understand me. And what you have to understand, this is where I agree with King to a degree. You can show the world whatever you want, but the world is not in our home. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying T.I.'s a bad father. I'm not trying to make my father look the worst father. What I'm trying to say and put out there is that you can never truly know what's going on behind closed doors in people's houses. We got to stop acting as if whatever we see right in front of us is what it is. Because me and my dad had a lot of problems. But what happens is when a young man is having issues with his father, regardless of what that is, if you felt like, even if I was a bad kid or whatever, but if I felt like my father was not connecting with me, then it's going to show in how I carry on around others. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put the link in the description box. I saw a couple people on. I don't know if they want to still come on. People jumping in and out, whatever. But if they want to come on, I'd love for people to come on. I'm gonna play another clip by a dude named Angry Man. If I could get Angry Man's clip in here, but I'm not gonna be in here all day. But I just want to share this with you guys. But yeah, father-son relationships can be very difficult, especially when people are judging you outside looking in. That's why I agree with T.I.'s son, Junior. I'm gonna call him Junior King for the sake of the interview. This is why I agree with Junior King on. You cannot sit there and always try to say that, oh, you grew up this way, so that means you had it better than we did. That's another thing with black people. We have too much of this, woe is me syndrome, to where it's like everybody's always looking at how somebody's either a victim or someone who's done, oh, you live better than me, so that's why I do the F shit that I do or whatever. Or, you know what I'm saying? Always trying to find a way where, oh, it's, you had it better than me, that's why I'm worse off than you. And I'm like, we got to stop doing that. We got to start finding solutions. And that's part of why I did this JB Speakeasy, for black men to have a voice. You know what I'm saying? And men in general. I'm putting out the link now, guys, because I'm kind of monologuing now. I want to see if anybody wanted to come up and have this conversation. I'm just, anybody wants to come up, I would love to hear your take on this. Let me think. I'm trying to get everybody in here as possible. They want to come here. Okay, I gave a few people the link, but I would just like to say that we got to stop acting like everything about the aspect of people's lives. We really don't know. Like I said, my mom taught me something. She said, many see, but few know. So if few know, how can we make an assumption what's going on in the house? Now, yes, T.I. grew with money. The same when my friend said, well, your dad's a mailman, your mom's a food service hostess at the hospital. Y'all had money. Well, I'm saying, well, you don't know what me and my family had. And if me and my father, like I said, any man that has a problem with his father, what's going to end up happening is because in our subconscious, even Jordan Peterson, the psychologist, was saying this, men search for other male camaraderie. The first male camaraderie you're supposed to be is your father. Your father's supposed to be your hero. Your father's supposed to be that dude you look up to. And when that's not there, you're going to end up doing that elsewhere. And so what I did was I found my way in around the hood because I couldn't go to my dad about hood problems. Like, Dad, I got these Crips up the street trying to do what you don't know nothing about that. So what did I do? I start hanging around the dudes I met at school. Shout out to Rat Time from PDL. Shout out to Brazy K from PDL. I'm not trying to bang on people. No, I'm just saying that I'm with the functions because I know what this life entails because I lived this life, regardless of what my parents did. Because environment, and that's why I said the answer to why King does what he does, I can't even blame him. I blame the culture. Because even if he didn't live this life, the culture made it seem like if you're going to be black, then this is what the culture is for black people. Do you get what I'm saying? So I believe that. Oh, sorry. But see, anyway, I'm back to. Oh, hold on, guys, just a second. Okay, okay, I'm just gonna do this. All right, so back to what I was saying. We have to stop acting as if it's always this idea that somebody's trying to fake their way through. Maybe King knows something about T.I. we don't know. We're assuming because they had money. See, we gotta stop understanding seeing things through the eyes of just money, because at the end of the day, money does not always determine the money doesn't always determine the success of a person or how people really come up. Like I said, my parents had I had a two-parent, two-income household, but that did not stop me from the environments that I was growing up in, the dangers of my environment. And I remember, not to put my father's business out there like that, but even though he was the main provider, you have to understand there was hard times we faced too. Who remembers back in, I think, 2001, 2002, or maybe even early 03, there was something called anthrax. Who remembers that? It was the original COVID. For you zillennials, y'all may not remember this because y'all are probably born in 2003. There was something called anthrax. Anthrax was something that was basically a poison that once you touched it, you pretty much died, or a few days later you died. And I remember they had to put some of the postal workers on leave. And so, by the grace of God, my dad, they gave him a few days off, but it was very possible he could have lost his job, and that could have affected our bills in a lot of ways. But my mom was working, but she was working a job that wouldn't have been able to maintain just by herself unless she would have to pick up another job. You get what I'm saying? So my point being is I faced hard times too. But if you let some of these people that grew up in the hood say, oh, you had two parents in the home, but that don't mean nothing. You don't understand. Like, put it like this, bro. There's nothing my dad could have done at the post office that could have prohibited me from getting chased by them Crips with them guns. I had to learn to go get a gun myself. I had to go get homies that I knew that had guns, and we start rolling around together. You know what I'm saying? Not because I was scared, but I felt like these niggas, these are grown-ass men trying to pack me out. So let me at least get some, get the numbers straight by getting me a few homies of mine. And they seen the environment I grew up in. So shout out to my homies for always being there for me. Brazy K, Lamont, LV, Wayne, all these dudes I was there. Shout out to them. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, I gave people the link if they want to come up. I will not be on here all day. It's almost about 2:00. So about 2, I might be wrapping this up around 2. And I'm gonna find another clip. I'm gonna find another clip. I think there's a clip out here of what's her name? Tiny. She's addressing the situation. She was there and trying to clown her son for trying to play hood when he wasn't, and all that. And I'm not saying he's the most hoodest dude, but I'm not going to discount anybody's particular, I'll say, account of their own life because it's their life. We're going by what we know about him. But if you really do grow up in the hood, there's a lot of homies in the hood whose their parents dropped them off at their grandma's house. Remember, T.I.'s grandma ain't famous. T.I.'s famous. Tiny's famous. Then they probably give them some money, yeah. But at the end of the day, money don't fix all problems. And that's a big misconception that many black men or many black people have, is that if you have money, all your problems is fixed. When we all big, I'm a Biggie Smalls fan. What did he say? More money, more problems, brother. But anyway, I'm gonna find this new a clip of T.I. Tiny talking about the whole issue with Tiny. Let me see, Tiny Harris. Talking about King. All right. Hold on, bear with me. Guys, I'm going to find it right now.
All right, y'all.
I'm trying to think. All right, let's see. I think I'm trying to think. All right, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to actually find another. Damani. Who is Damani? I don't think I want to hear Damani's take on it. King goes off on. Okay. Anyway, I'm trying to find out other people's takes on this so we can address that as well in this show. Let me think. All right. Let's do King's Harris. Let's see what this one. Just gonna talk about that one. Yeah, but there we go, guys. I'm gonna keep you guys waiting too much longer, but I believe this will be a take of T.I. Son King's take. Because remember, let's see. This is the one. Let's see it.
Did send Lil Falcons? Did gotcha.
Love you.
Silver spoon. I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, used to have to come to my grandma's house. Cause I'm getting in the fight. You act like a baby to go to your grandma's house.
One thing I also, as celebrities, this is one thing I will say though. Also, what we got to start looking at is as celebrities, you got to stop putting most of your stuff in the public eye. Like I just heard what T.I. said about you have to whine like a baby. Because here's the thing, King kind of embarrassed himself, but at the same time, T.I. was adding you and Time was adding fuel to the fire. Because at the end of the day, because putting your son out there like that also makes him like a liar. Can make people pull up on him and try to really test this game. You could make him look like a punk, you know what I'm saying? Saying, oh, you was pulling up, with your thumb in your mouth, trying to go to your grandma's house and blah, 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 stuff like that. It can also put your son in danger of being, attacked as well. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I was trying to see if anybody wants to come on. I'm not going to be back here past 2 o'clock. These shows I do so we can have so we can have these real talk type of conversations, but people act like they ain't trying to come up. That's funny. Let me think. I don't know. Anyway, I would play a couple more clips and then I'm gonna go ahead and probably end up this show for the day. But I just want to talk about that. You know what I mean? Let me see. Okay, DL Hughley has something he wants to say. Let's see what he has to say. Then after this interview, pretty much going to wrap this up unless somebody wants to come up. All right, here we go.
For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson. During the Atlanta Falcons game this past Sunday, rapper T.I., his wife Tiny, and their son King got into it, which would end in things getting physical with T.I. putting his hands on his son. The altercation was caught on Instagram Live and seemingly started from an argument about whether or not King had a privileged life. Throughout the video, King can be heard saying that he wanted to be outside instead of living in a gated community. What seemed like a playful back and forth at first quickly turned serious. DJ Academics would post the full encounter on his Twitter with the caption, "The full video of T.I.'s son, King, speaking on how he get up in the hood and how he stood on business. T.I. and his mom insist he grew up in a gated community and sucked his pacifier till 12 years old.
Have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
Here. No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. So there it goes.
Or in your ear. Y'all want to go to the bando in my neighborhood? Do y'all want to go to the bando? To make him look better, he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life. I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there. I used to have to come to my grandma's house.
Every day. I'm gonna tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Y'all ready? He want to suck a pacifier. He was 12 years old. He didn't do that in the house.
They trying to say I was over there trying to suck a passy, but they ain't gonna tell you everything.
This is where T.I. Excuse me. This is where T.I. and Tiny. This is also where T.I. and Tiny kind of messed up as parents too. The reason why he was able to feel he could go this far is because y'all see, this is what my parents used to always say: you can't be friends with your kids. Because at the end of the day, there must be a line of respect. Like I joked earlier and said that it would have never been a day where I've been able to call my dad a nigga. I wouldn't have dreamed to say that. And me and my dad actually had fights as well. I'm talking about real pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying? Real get down type fights. And even I didn't dare say to my father, oh, you know, nigga this, nigga that. I couldn't picture it. To this day, I'm 31 and still can't picture myself doing that. But see, this is partially T.I. and Tiny's fault for being kind of friends with your kids rather than being like, look, this is what it is, this is what it ain't. Now, yeah, well, I know, you know, they say be gentle parenting and all that. That shit don't work because at the end of the day, gentle parenting leads to you being friends with your parent, with your kids, when they must understand that there's a line of respect that's supposed to be drawn there. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's also what kind of messed up that caused this problem that they had this time around. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that he did do that wrong. He probably went about that wrong. And then trying to put your business out there, Tiny, about what type of dude. And y'all should have never been on live discussing that. Family business is family business. If you want to talk about business, business should be handled away from everybody else. It should be between you and whoever you got business with. I always believe that. That's in the hood, in families, or anything else. All right, here we go. Let D.L. Hughley speak on this. And then I'm going to wrap the show up since nobody wants to come up. So let's do it.
Things like that, they try to hide it. He capping.
Hey,
He know I stand on business. He know that. Can't no nigga ever pull my car ever in life. You want to hide it for the world? I'm going to put it out there for them to see. You ain't had me up nowhere. You ain't had me behind the mansion. I was outside doing what I wanted to do. You get mad because we say the South ain't the suburbs. Then he want to talk about some other shit. No, I'm being real. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you.
ain't no mystery about here.
I know you though. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. Why you let him play with me like that? Why you let him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking.
You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. Hey, what did you talk? Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't shit you can do with me.
Yeah, like I was saying, guys. There's no way they should have been on live discussing this for the world to see. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, there's no way that they should have been discussing this. That T.I., Tiny, y'all are supposed to be the adults. Y'all supposed to shut this down and say, look, turn that phone off. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a discussion as family. You get what I'm saying? Rather than try to put on entertainment for everybody. And King, yeah, I do believe King was capping a little bit, but I do like to always say you never know exactly what somebody's home dynamic is truly like, because you can have all the money in the world. Still, listen, my pastor even used to say this. He said you could have a lot of money. You could A lot of money could buy you a nice house, but that doesn't mean you're really safe. A nice amount of money can buy you a good bed, but it can't buy you a good night of sleep. You get what I'm saying? So my point is that we never truly know what's going on behind the scenes. But let me just go ahead and put this on pause for a second, so we can. So I'm gonna let this interview finish, and I'm gonna let DL Hughley. All right, here we go.
Clip academic shared would go on to receive nearly 18 million views, along with a variety of comments. One user would say, I never understood why privileged boys love to act like they from the trenches, like that's a flex. Now, TMZ recently caught up with DL Hughley and asked him what his thoughts were on the situation. Hughley's opinion didn't differ much from the common consensus. Let's take a look at this clip.
And the thing about it is, I've known T.I. and Tiny for a long time, and I watch how hard they work. I watch how hard they value their family. And to have somebody that you work so hard and sacrifice for to shit all over your memory and your accomplishment for clicks is insulting. We actually grew up in the circumstance they romanticize about it. We were that great. It was the inspiration for T.I. getting out of there and Tiny getting out of there. But you don't want your children to grow up in the same stuff. No parent would want their children to have it as hard as they did. When we grew up, we were poor, but the one thing you could do, what you couldn't do, is tell a black woman that her kids were dirty or they weren't taken care of. And that's exactly what he's doing now. He's insulting the effort they put into raising him. Just for clicks, for what? You're famous, you're in that box, shitting all over his memory because he's famous. And you're doing it for what? So you can be famous.
Now, Hughley wasn't the only notable figure to offer his own opinion, as Charleston White also reacted to the exchange between the father and son. On Monday, White shared a clip to social media where he said,
I told T.I., God damn it, I told T.I. he should have kicked that boy ass last year. If T.I. would have kicked that boy ass last year, that boy wouldn't have had to jack him up today. Yeah, boy showing out at the Falcons game, embarrassing the family. Last year, this is that King little ugly ass. Oh, that boy got a big mouth on him. And he talk loud with them big old red, yellow lips. Yeah, he fucking with the Atlanta Falcons up there disrespecting them people, hollering about he standing on business. Boy, if you don't sit your look, you bruise too easy to stand on business. Your little yellow motherfucker bruise too easy to stand on. Man, nigga, everywhere he get touched, it turn red, purple, and blue. Man, please, that nigga, he can't stand on business that yellow. Hell no. Now y'all all of a sudden, boy, you disrespecting Tippy. You done got so, boy, you disrespecting Tiny and Tippy. Shit, nigga, please. I cut your ass out the wheel. No, I would. I leave your ass in the wheel. You want to dethrone the king? Yeah. Boy, keep on saying, I'm talking about putting all kind of finger forehead lock, make you say, Daddy, I quit, Daddy. Say it louder, nigga, in front of every walking back out to the field. Yeah, he gonna kick you in your motherfucking ass.
Now, this wasn't the only time White had something to say about the two. The very next day, White followed up that video with another telling fans that King has reached out and threatened White for not minding his own business. With this new video, that's the last thing Charleston did. Let's take a look at his latest comments.
I've just been threatened by Lil King. Yeah, Lil King told me I better stay out of him and their family business, or else he gonna stand on business. And I'm sitting here thinking, why this little yellow motherfucker keep making threats toward me? He ready to go to jail. Then I think to myself, that boy ain't ready to go to jail. That boy sucked a pacifier till he was 12 years old. That's why his teeth so big. Yeah, that's why them teeth big. I thought, that's why you don't let them kids suck their thumb. And you don't let them put that pacifier in their goddamn, I'm sorry, in their mouth, because it go buck their teeth out like that boy. That's why the boy mouth so goddamn big. I've been trying to figure out all this time why that boy mouth so big.
After the original incident with his father, King took to Instagram to air out anything else he has to say via IG stories. Unfortunately, these posts are now deleted, but when they were up, King said, I stand on business. Business don't give a F who you are. I don't give a F who you are. MF can't play with me in my face, not going for the I'm a grown a man now. If I'm a mistake, say that. Stop making the world think you F with me when you don't. Y'all be faking an image for the internet and it ain't me. Under the Instagram comments of the Shade Room, there was a mixture of positive and negative responses. Most of the people in the comments shared the same sentiment as D.L. Hughley and Charleston White. But there were others who sympathized with King and even saw this dispute as a cry for help. Now, about a month ago, King spoke with comedian Funny Marco for his Open Thoughts interview series, where he addressed his family life. During the conversation, King revealed that he lived with his grandmother for most of his upbringing, even during the filming of The Family Hustle. King said that he would get a call saying the producers needed him for filming. He would go to his parents' home for filming, but right after, when the cameras cut off, he'd be right back at his grandmother's. In the same interview, King also explained what it means for him to stand on business. He said many people confuse standing on business with being a thug or gangster, but to him, it actually means standing on principle and respect. Joining me is our very own borderline analyst, Danielle Miller, to dive in on this conversation. Danielle, I know you've been seeing the headlines. I know you've been seeing this story run crazy. I want to dive in. You know, what's your reaction to this? We have D.L. Hughley reacting to it. Of course, we have people reacting.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my little monologue on this, and I will say this: two things that I need to elaborate on before we go ahead and cut the show to a close. For one, this is why, as parents, you got to watch the life you lead too, because one part that plays into this is the fact that because everybody keeps saying, oh, you know, T.I. worked a lot to get out the hood, and T.I. Tiny worked a lot to get out the hood so they could get their kids a better life. This is why even when you're in that working progress, you should probably be putting on a good image even as you're getting out of that life. Because part of what made King, I believe, made him go down this path is also thinking, my dad is the king of the South. So being from the trenches is something I got to do because that's what my father did. Then I think in the subconscious that must be there. But a lot of this is also T.I. and Tiny's fault. And Charleston White brought up a good point. It was funny how he brought up about the whole big teeth thing and all that. But some of the stuff that T.I. and Tiny afforded him and allowed him to do, maybe spoiled him and put him in this position that he's in right now, where he feels he has to do all this talking. Now, the boy said that he spent most time with his grandma's. I know we all want to try to test this gangster right now and try to say he ain't this, he ain't that. But one thing that he did say that I respect, and I think even T.I. and most of us as men can respect, is the idea of standing on business means you standing on principle, you standing on morals and respect. And I think those are bottom line characteristics that all men stand on. So which is why a lot of people might think that I'm caping for him. And no, I'm not, because I respected that before he even said it about standing on business is standing on morals and respect. I would believe that. And part of that respect is respecting his point of view. If he feels like he grew up a certain way, unless y'all ready to, you know, get in the gloves with him and tell him that he ain't this and ain't that, then we probably should stay out of their business. I do agree with that as well. But if I had to give King a piece of advice, look, bro, a lot of us come up in the hood where we wish, like, even though my parents were married, you and T.I., I just showed the clip earlier where y'all was getting along good. I wish I had a better relationship with like my father like that, to where we would sit down and talk about different things. We didn't have that. Was my dad a provider and all that? Yeah, I respect that, which is why I can reason with King on the whole, my parents having money, but money don't buy away all problems. You cannot buy a good relationship with your parents. You cannot buy a father-son relationship. You can't buy that. Remember that, you can't buy that. But even bigger than all of this is culture. Black people, we embrace the culture that embraces gangsterism, embraces the hood, embraces poverty, embraces the trap life or the struggle life. If we stop promoting that, then even those that didn't come from that wouldn't be able to use that as an excuse to get out or try to portray something that they supposedly are not. I will say this though. Before I try to comment on any person's situation, I hate to do it without seeing behind the scenes. Because if he said he was at his grandma's house, I mean, what am I going to tell him? No, that's not true because your parents had money. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who grew up in the hood who ended up at their grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? And there would be a totally different dynamic there than it would be at, at their mom's house. Now, he could be capping. He very much could be, guys. Don't think I'm taking his side. But I do not want to ever tell somebody that their experience is invalidated because of what we see on the outside. For my parents said what? My mom always taught me that many see but few but know. Many of us seen him on The Family Hustle. And there he got all the money, T.I. all these plaques. And all. Remember, that's T.I.'s life. His son and him are not the same people. So, yes, King could be capping. But the only reason why we have our perspective is because we're looking from an entertainment point of view. And what we have seen, especially with allegations coming against these stars and all that stuff that's going on lately, we're starting to see that everything that glitter ain't gold. We thought certain people were this, but they really weren't that. Like right now, Bill Cosby's back in the news for his another allegation. Bear with me, guys. At one point, Bill Cosby, I see somebody that they was watching and they went away when I said that. But see, people need to wait for the points. That's one thing about us as black people. This is also the problem. Somebody was watching and they went out. As soon as I said Bill Cosby. The problem with black people, I say as a whole, is our assumptions. We see something and assume and move on it emotionally rather than do the logical thing, which is to evaluate. That's why I'm not joining the whole king is a this and that. He seemed like he may be capping. I'll give y'all that. But at the end of the day, we truly don't know. As my mom's quote says, many see, but few know. So my greatest point that I'm making here is this. Black people, we must watch what we embrace as positive culture. Because exactly, but look at what is back. This has came up before. Remember Chloe Ray and Benzino? Benzino was worth almost $500 million. But what did she say? I grew up in the car with my, saying homeless and this and that. Now her and King could be capping. But I blame us having a culture where we embrace not the best of lifestyles, but the struggle lifestyle. For even in the hood, you know what we say about a smart kid? King could have been an A student. Let me tell you something. Do you know what happens in the hood when you talk like you got some sense? They say you're talking white. That's what we say as black people. Because what? We stay loyal to the struggle mentality. If you speak like you have morals, they call you a coon, Uncle Tom, all these terms. And even that's kind of ridiculous because if you know the story, Uncle Tom, he wasn't the villain of the story, he was the hero. But anyway, my point being is, as black people, we do not embrace the most positive of us to where it even looks like something that blacks want to be. So even when we have people that come from that lifestyle that were positive, it could have been smart. King could be the next Barack Obama. He could be the next, or some successful black man. He could be the next that. But is that what black people support? No, because our culture supports the worst of us. It's the same thing when we talk about black women. Like, what I'm saying? Black women say we're strong, we're educated, and this and that. But we'll then support the sexy reds and all these other ones that aren't as intelligent. The ratchets, the dope dealers. Shout out to my homies as dope dealers and gangsters. I'm not trying to put y'all down, but if we have to say from a positive image standpoint, those are not positive images. Though those are what we consider successful from a struggle point of view. But my point is that our point of view as blacks should not always be from the struggle mentality, from a mentality that strives to be better. I said we should not, I'll say it again, we should not let our point of view of who we are as a perspective of culture be from our struggle, but be for what we struggle for, which is a better life. This is JB9 Deuce. I don't think anybody's coming up. So anyway, this is JB9 Deuce. I'll leave you all with this. Remember, black people, we must improve the culture so that those that come from certain aspects of certain lifestyles should want to embrace that. But since black people, we only embrace those that come from struggle and not those that do the best with what they've been given, we'll always have these type of situations from King to Coily Ray to even Angela Simmons talking about her dad was this and that. But these are all rich men. You know what I'm saying? These are all men that have money and it seems like they love their kids. That's what it looked like. So I'm going to leave y'all with the words of this, the words of advice. Black people, if we want to stop the Kings, the Coily Rays, and the Angela Simmons from saying that they grew up as something that they wasn't, then they shouldn't have to feel the pressure on coming up from the idea of struggle as being the definitive reputation for Black America. And so I leave y'all with this. Let's improve the culture so that we can, let's embrace the best of our culture. So when we have those that come from the best of the culture, that we can support them from being where they are, the best of the culture, and those that are trying, that aren't in the best of culture and struggle, can get to the best of culture and then be respected from not only where you come from, but even if you're already there, then respect for where you already are. All right, this is JB9 Deuce, representing JB Speakeasy, the black platform where black men speak freely. Once again, I'm your host, JB9 Deuce. Y'all have a great day. God bless. And remember, in order for us to have a better culture, let's embrace the best of our culture. And then as those from the struggle culture, to strive to be to the best of our culture. All right, this is JB9 Deuce, representing JB Speakeasy, black platform, black men speak freely. I'm your host, JB9 Deuce. Y'all have a good one. Be blessed. May God, Jesus Christ, and Holy Spirit be with all of you. All right, bye-bye.